Welcome to the Inner Circle.
That should be our intro.
My name is Sydney.
I'm Gabby.
I'm Keish.
And we're the Inner Circle.
We are the Inner Circle, okay?
We are the Inner Circle. We're like, someone asked me what the Inner Circle was. And I was like, we're basically like your best friends.
Yeah.
Just chilling in your living room.
Like your group of people that you talk to about intimate stuff. And like,
Yeah.
I really have this burning question. I don't know where
Yes,
to tell this to.
Yeah.
I agree.
I love that we're like going to do this, like asking people to submit questions anonymously, because there were a lot of things that I wondered about when I was like a younger girl and was like too afraid to ask.
Right.
You know, because there's so many things we don't talk about. And so then you think that there's something like wrong with you for being a certain way or, you know, or wondering about this thing. I actually went through this like.
It stomped the yard upstairs, literally. I was just saying that. I'm like, what in a dance battle is happening upstairs? I just imagine.
I love that movie. Yeah. They're prepping.
They're actually somebody's moving in upstairs.
Oh.
They haven't done construction in like left.
Oh, I thought they were filming Save the Last Dance 3.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because I'm
Save the Last Dance.
Were they not? Stomp the yard?
As soon as you
Okay,
start-
I'm just like,
I love Save the Last Dance. That was on time.
They are bumping up there today. Can you hear it through the...
Plot twister fucking.
Okay, good. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's right here. I'm good.
We good.
We good. I'm not touching it.
I'm
just
just
gonna
gonna
work around
scoot over.
it. I'm gonna vogue around.
So anyway,
Vogue.
this is the Inner Circle.
This is the inner.
This is the. Wait, how do you vogue in a circle?
Circle. Wait.
This is the inner circle.
You are the Inner Circle.
You are the
Come,
inner circle.
come
We
join
are the inner
us.
circle.
Wait, everybody pick a camera and just stare into it and just bring them in.
That was like a really like that was like a stop sign. That was not a circle.
Hexagon?
Yes.
Gosh.
Anywho.
Anyway, I went
my
through
hands
this.
here.
I went through this weird phase like 2 years ago where I was like, for Christmas, everybody is getting 100% cotton tampons. Like I was like, I wanted everybody to have like all natural products. I wanted every woman in my life to know about their bodies and like to know about, you know, because I feel like we didn't get taught those things. Like like who would have ever thought that wearing a cotton tampon, like 100% cotton tampon, could actually like lessen your cramps, that it could actually lessen your symptoms in general.
I did not know this.
Yes, you can. And I'm like, what? And it makes sense, right? Like I'm putting a product in a very sensitive place that is a direct connection to my energetic source, right? So it would make sense that by putting something in there that is chemically modified, would have a negative effect on you. But like in sex ed, like we're also not talking about those things.
Oh my God. I just heard the craziest sex ed story, actually. It was from my boyfriend and his friend. And they went to the same school, but they got 2 different sex ed videos.
What?
And one was like an Orthodox Jewish woman who hasn't shaved
What?
in like ever. And they had to part to get the baby out.
Oh my God, I saw that in high school.
What? I didn't
It was
see
a birthing video. And she didn't shave. Oh my God. And it was like the head.
Let this be known that
so glad I
birthing
didn't see
videos are
that.
traumatizing.
They are.
Okay.
But
They
why did
are.
this 50-year-old woman sign up to do
To be a
this
part of it.
on film? Like I
It should have
get
been
it.
Kourtney Kardashian.
I don't know. Maybe like a 35-year-old woman with a I don't know.
The only reason I said Kourtney Kardashian was because on one of the episodes of Kardashians, she gave birth to Mason. We all saw it. We didn't see
we
the
all saw it.
actual.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like, I did not see
you
that
didn't see the
episode.
actual, but you know. So maybe never mind.
All vaginas in every forms are beautiful. I just want to say that before you.
Yes, I am not.
We love vaginas around here.
We love vaginas.
do.
I am not
hairy, not hairy. We
not
don't
judging
care.
if you're
And you know,
hairy.
they look
Razor
different.
bumps.
That's
I
another
mean,
thing.
it's fine.
I just think it's
fine.
traumatizing to young children to see that much hair.
Oh, I'm definitely traumatized.
and seeing a child come from that mound.
Oh, 100%.
I
I'm
think for adults-
traumatized.
with the blood and all.
I saw that video and I was like, adoption. Adoption.
Like,
Am
I
I
wanna
the
do
only
that.
one that
It's
didn't see this
terrifying.
video?
Adopting.
It's terrifying.
I
What
did
did you
not
say?
see this video.
I don't know, but
Any video, any childbirth video,
it doesn't need to be that one.
any sex ed childbirth video, it's like, whoa.
I'm sure you could look one up.
I mean, I saw one, but it just wasn't traumatizing.
Oh.
I guess I was prepared for it in a way. I don't know. My
Well,
mom
speak
was
for yourself,
like super.
okay?
My
'Cause
mom
I'm
was a
traumatized.
biologist, so like she was always
mine?
into us like calling the sex organs the proper words and stuff like that.
names,
Mm.
So like yeah, if I hurt myself, I'm like, my vagina hurts and stuff like
Oh,
that. Get a
no.
lot of stares. Yeah.
We had
I love it.
nicknames.
No nickname. She don't play that because it's like, why is it a nickname?
I have a goddaughter and we don't play that either. She's 2 and she knows what a vagina is. So.
I think that makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay, speaking of sex ed and young
Yes.
age, I actually talked to Gabby about this not too long ago. I'm like obsessed with horrible decisions.
Oh, that's show.
And this most recent episode not most recent, it was a while back. I don't know. I've been all over the place. But the video that the last one that I was listening to, they were talking about this sex ed video that had been shown to a class at, I don't know exactly where the school was. It was here in the US
Mhm.
and it was called, it's like the Dalton Preparatory School or something. Like you can look this
You
up.
lost me at preparatory.
Okay, so there was a school in New York called the Dalton Preparatory School, and they showed I don't know, I can't remember if they had somebody come in and teach the kids or showed the kids this, or if it was a part of the curriculum or something, but they showed these first graders a video on masturbation, and in the video, the little boy is like, how come sometimes my pee-pee like points to the sky or something like that? I don't know. And the teacher was like, oh, because this, that, and the other. And they didn't like continue watching the video. I didn't really look it up. But yeah, essentially the video, or they were talking about whether that's appropriate for first graders to be learning about that.
Okay, so I'll weigh on this
Please do.
because here's my thing. I don't know about anybody else in this room, but I definitely started masturbating, at least from what I thought by society standards, at a very young age. I was too young in my mind to be like connecting with that part of myself. But probably about the age of like 7 or 8, I found my dad's dirty magazines and I was masturbating to Barbie, Ken dolls. I was, I knew what that feeling was at that age. And so do I think that we should be like pushing that on children in school? Maybe not.
Yeah.
But is it natural? Absolutely. It does happen.
Yes.
And there's more people like me, I discovered over time. But
I think the
you
vast
know.
majority of people
Yeah.
are like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, seriously.
Some
It's-
version of that.
Exactly.
So with that being said, would you feel weird if you learned that at a younger age and then
I think that I wouldn't feel weird, but everything is confusing at that age. We're putting pieces together. So it's really about how you're taught.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I don't expect a preparatory school to actually do the right shit and like
Facts.
really open up that sexual positivity conversation. But there's so many people that are masturbating by that age.
Absolutely.
And they don't know what it's called. They don't know what it is. They just
Right.
know they're doing it. It's a feeling.
yeah.
And
it feels
they
good.
connect with it.
right?
Right. So I think we could talk about the feeling and the connection of it better.
Yeah.
But first grade, I'm like, even me,
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's
and
a
I was
little-
masturbating by then. But like,
Right.
And that's
You know?
kind of like what I was saying to Gabby is like, when I think like now as being an adult, thinking of first grade, I'm like, that's too young.
yeah.
But then when I think back to, like you said, how I was as a kid and how I know other kids were and kids still are. I remember when my sister, never mind. But I remember having a conversation with my mom.
She was about to embarrass
she
her
was
sister.
really young. She was really, anyway. So my mom and we had a conversation about, kids like touching themselves.
Mm.
And she was like, at that age, whatever that age is, when they're younger, they're, like you said, they're just doing it because they know, like, when I touch that, it feels good. There is no shame attached to it, right?
You're not even
Because
thinking about it.
right?
Right.
And if you think about it too, I almost feel like by us not having those conversations, and it is sticky, right? Like, how do you have that kind of conversation at such a young age?
You don't want to tell too much, but you don't want to.
Yeah, and you don't,
Right.
like you said, you don't want to be pushing it. Like,
Right.
go and
ruin the
do
innocence.
that. Yeah, but it also, for them to know, if they don't know about their bodies, then, and they are kind of masturbating and they don't talk to anybody about it, and they're hiding it, I feel like that is kind of what can eventually develop into sex, feeling shameful sexuality, and you can bring that into your adult life, and that is an issue, right? That we're all dealing with. So it's huge, and I think like we have to, it is young, but we have to be thinking about this because we do want kids growing up having, like, first of all, being empowered. Like, I know my body, I know what I'm comfortable with my body, and so I know in what situations when to draw that line.
Right.
But I feel like for the vast majority of people, we're not figuring that out until we're like well into our 20s, 30s. Some people don't figure that out.
Right. There's like a period when you learn in 5th grade, and then it kind of goes darker, like you touching and feeling and being boyfriend, girlfriend in middle school.
Yeah.
But you're not really exploring your sexuality until you're like 16, 17, 18. And then you're now learning the types of people you want to allow into your space when you're 20.
Yeah.
Right.
I just feel like that's a messed up kind of chronological order of things.
It is. Yeah. It definitely is.
Like
I think about like end. 1st grade, I was 7.
Yeah.
Right? 7 or 8. And then I started having sex at 14. So that's 7 years later.
Right.
And I think if more things were discussed, then maybe I would have more knowledge. Maybe I wouldn't have lost my virginity at 14. Who knows? It's not shameful, but it felt shameful
because nobody's
which
talking
is the problem.
To you.
Yeah. I think the first time, like you said, it was 5th grade. We learned about periods and, all of those things. And then we have sex ed freshman year of high school. Yeah. Something of that nature. Right. And, it's very like glazed over.
Yes.
Like
we're doing because we have to.
Right.
And we're just like.
To make sure you guys are safe.
Yeah.
We know what you're doing, but don't do it. Keep it secret.
And I forgot like the facts. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I think they do find that there's a correlation between like areas that promote abstinence versus areas that do educate about teenage pregnancy and our bodies and things actually have lower rates of STDs, pregnancy, right? Because these kids know, and then, some of the schools, they have condoms in the school. And I remember like a few years ago that being like, oh my God, condoms in the school, like that's promoting sex. But it's like, but these kids have a safe place to go and get these condoms.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Where they are.
Yeah.
And also, like, we all know when something becomes super normal, I don't like, sometimes I feel like the desire to do it is not quite as, you know what I mean?
Right. Yes. And then like, on top of that, they're like, oh, don't put these condoms in schools. But newsflash, your students are having sex.
Yes, like that's the reality.
They don't have money to go to the CVS or the Walgreens.
They're absolutely having sex,
and they're
100%.
Yeah.
So, and not all of them, but a lot of them are. Like that's the hormone crazy. Like we're discovering ourselves. Everything's hot. Woo! That moment in life. Yeah. So of course, like having that education is crucial. And they definitely need to just revamp the entire thing. Just revamp the entire sex education system, period.
They need to revamp the entire education
we were talking about this.
Throw the whole damn school away.
Throw it all out. Okay, let's start over.
There are some things that just need to change. Yeah. Definitely. We're in a new generation. We're learning different. We have new children. They're not learning the same ways we were learning.
Right.
They're
like differently too.
They didn't have the life of like going outside and reading a book and running around. We have iPads now and technology. So,
the world is brought to you.
Everything's different. and the knowledge is at your fingertips. So you can't lie anymore about certain things that they used to tell us in school that weren't 100% correct. You can find that out on the internet now.
That's a big thing. That's a big. I didn't even think of
the age of information. It's right at your fingertips.
My sisters are. So I have 2 sisters. One of them is actually they're both 10 now. Charlie just had a birthday last month or earlier this month. So they're both 10. They're not twins. They're from different sides. my parents are remarried anyway. So
long story.
my sisters are the same age, and it's really interesting watching them. So I was 13 when they were born.
Oh.
And so now it's interesting watching them go into one of my sisters just started middle school this year. And then my other sister, she's in 5th grade, but it's interesting listening to the things that they talk about and the things that they know.
Mm-hmm.
And it brings me back to how I felt when I was that age. Everything felt so not old, but not even adult, but it felt like, I don't even know how to describe it. Everything felt so real and felt so
probably the importance of things.
Yeah.
Like the bar was raised.
Yeah, it's interesting because I remember, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even know where I was going with that, but it's just cool. It's cool to watch them grow up and what they're concerned about and the things that they're being exposed to and talking about TikTok and Instagram and
TikTok,
their friends' fights and things that they get into. And I'm like, wow, kids are older than they were when I was.
No, for real. Like I look at, listen, I look at these younger, let me clear my throat because I'm agitated. I'm agitated. I look at these younger women and I'm actually just like, wow, like you have so much more information and more education and knowledge than I had. And then you have this whole like, I mean, I was 13 and wearing blue fucking eyeliner, you know, like terrible from like CoverGirl.
Yeah, right?
And then you've got these girls that are
beat.
When I was that age and they're just beat for the gods. They're the highlighter. It's doing everything. And I'm like, I am literally a grown ass adult now and your face looks better than mine.
Yes. You're like offended a little bit.
Can y'all just go back to Walmart and Family Dollar for your little eyeshadow makeup palettes and struggle like we did?
I'm just saying, like, I need y'all to understand the struggle because y'all are beat for the gods. You know about fashion. You've got all this fashion and shit.
Fashion Nova, and
I
can wear Fashion Nova to high school.
Literally in Skechers.
We could barely wear leggings when I was. I couldn't wear leggings to school.
That's what we had.
Stop with the Aeropostale.
We had Aeropostale in Hollister.
You had like the one little thing just right here.
Yeah, the little logo.
You know, and everyone was like, "Oh, she shops at Abercrombie and Fitch."
Yes, the true religion.
I was always jealous of the bitches that were shopping at Abercrombie and Fitch.
I got my
Cindy,
first
you look like you shop at Abercrombie.
You were in Hollister, but all the way.
Because now I'm living my teenage dream. That's why.
Okay, but hold on. When you
Now
said
I don't wear
Hollister,
bras.
can anyone smell it?
Yes.
Okay.
When my best friend in high school and middle school,
I can smell Hollister.
she was like, she's gorgeous. She's still beautiful. No, she wasn't. She wasn't. But she could have been. Like she still could. Shout out Tatiana. You're incredible. You're so beautiful. But anyway, I remember being just like, she was tall, she was skinny, she had long dark hair. And I remember she always wore not True Religion. Oh, Miss Me jeans. They were called Miss Me jeans.
Oh, okay.
Do you know Miss Me jeans?
It's like the little no, wait, what?
They're like really blinged out.
I'm not that
on the
hip.
back.
I was not
I've seen
wearing
the
bling like that.
Like a crest at the back.
Yes,
right?
there's a crest.
Yeah.
She always had. They were like $100 jeans, and I remember
definitely not.
They're like
begging.
the second True Religion. That's like if you don't have True Religion, you wear those.
I remember
or Von
begging for these jeans, and my mom being like, "Are you like kidding me? $100 for some jeans?"
Literally, as a mother, I would just look you in the face and be like, "Baby, I will bedazzle them for you."
Yeah,
I don't know
for
what
real.
to do. I don't know what to do.
Can I tell you all a story?
This is too much.
Yes.
This is too much.
So tell me why 9th grade year, my dad knew to come correct before I knew to come correct. He's like, this is your high school year. You need to come with some nice ass clothes. He bought me my first pair of True Religion jeans. I was like, Dad, I don't want these. They're $200. I don't need them.
Weird.
Yeah, I felt weird having them because like I would wear Aeropostale and stuff and like I would wear the same sizes in middle school because I didn't really grow that much. He's like, we're trying to take it up a notch. I just felt so weird in those, but you couldn't tell me shit after the first day of school. It was like, True Religion.
Sorry, you're wearing
True Religion jeans.
You're wearing what?
Who's this new Gabby?
She is Beyonce. She is Beyonce.
She probably walked like it too.
No, you could not tell me shit.
I love that.
I was gonna say something. Oh, I was gonna say, are you still like that? Like, do you still feel weird either buying not very expensive, but like things that are maybe pricier than you know, typically would go? Do you feel weird about wearing them now, or like
clothing? Yes. And I think so, like, that whole dynamic between me and my dad, like, I did not grow the same way he grew up. He grew up upper echelon shit. I grew up kind of middle class. So like, he's okay with dressing super, super nice and spending like $100 and so on Polo Ralph Lauren stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll buy like the not cheap stuff, but just reasonable stuff because I've seen that. I'm like, you don't really need that. You could put money elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm really interested in putting money into like my equipment. I'll buy nice jewelry, but I won't bling myself out.
Yes.
I do, however, have a shoe problem. I'm not a sneakerhead, but I like heels and like hunter boots and
Nice
name
shoes.
brand stuff.
But I feel like shoes make sense though, because you're walking on them. They have to be good quality.
That means they don't last as long. They finessed us, y'all.
I know. I love shoes.
Yeah, actually, Sydney, can we talk about your shoe collection?
Listen,
Miss Sneakerhead.
I'm not
Y'all
a
are gonna
sneakerhead.
see the same
Sis, how many-
shoes.
I'm a
for the
fake
next
sneakerhead.
How many do you got
4
now?
weeks.
Different pair of shoes.
It's gonna be the same.
Listen,
shoes.
because I don't go anywhere, so this is my opportunity to wear these shoes.
She wear a different pair of shoes for every outfit, y'all. Don't let her play y'all.
I do love shoes, but I've always been weird about buying shoes, like nice shoes. But when I started dating my boyfriend, I don't know if I should be offended or not, but all of a sudden he started buying me a bunch of shoes.
I got her
And I think
blinked
because
out.
he was trying to like elevate me to get to his level, because this man has a lot of shoes.
No.
Beautiful shoes. I love them. But
I remember I came in one day and Sydney had a pair of yellow and black. I don't even know what they're called. What are the ones?
Jordan?
They're Jordans. And then I opened up another box and there were another size. I was like, you got two of the same shoes? She's like, no. Those are my boyfriend's. I was like, are y'all
Not
about to be
matching
taking
shoes?
matching Jordan photos on Instagram?
He did buy matching shoes.
I was like, y'all are gonna be on your tiptoes.
Wait, I have a picture of me in my tippy toes.
Wow.
In those shoes. He did real story. He did buy us the same shoes. But
So cute.
it was cute. It was cute. He
That
was
is
like, but we
really
can't wear them on the same day.
What is the fucking point? You're supposed
Snatched.
to be
He
together.
doesn't want
It's like-
anybody to know that he wanted to buy us the same shoes.
She's
It's
like, you
okay.
can have my drip, but we can't wear it on the same
Yeah.
day.
Oh
You know
wow.
what?
I wish
It
my
also-
nigga would. Like, we will match every Monday through
We're
Friday.
matching
You gonna
every
wear that
fucking
shirt.
outfit. Okay.
But it kind of backfired too, though, because now he keeps calling me his son. Like, oh, there's my son. You're my son. And I'm like, bro, I didn't even ask for the shoes. You bought them for me. And now I like them. And now you're making fun of me. Like, I swear. He calls me his son.
Okay, this is a true story. Once upon a time, first of all, I bought these Fila's that were white and chunky last
I
year,
know what you're
right?
talking about.
They
Oh, I
were
know.
popping,
Those are cute.
right?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm glad that you're just like confirming that I'm not like a fucking loser. So
Don't you
I
hate that?
went out one day, right, with these Fila's. It's a year now. It's been a year. I've had these Fila's for a while. They're kind of busted, whatever. And I literally twice in one day. First, it was a friend of mine who's a DJ, and he looked down at, and he's a sneakerhead. He looked down at my shoes and he was like,
Dang.
he
That's
was
the
like,
worst.
I just
"You're
got
too cute to be
goosebumps.
wearing those shoes." That's what he said to me. And I was like, "What?"
At least
The
he
Fila's?
complimented you at the same time.
Right. I was like, the Fila's? Like, these were popping last year. And he was like, not this year.
Dang.
And he was like, you need to get some new
What
shoes.
do I do with them? Throw them away? Give them away?
Exactly, right? And I was like, so what the fuck am I supposed to do with these shoes? And he literally went in his wallet, grabbed $100,
Oh no.
handed me the $100 and said, go buy yourself some Nikes or some Jordans. And I was like,
Dang.
but I
friends like
laughed.
that.
It was funny. And I asked him what to do with the shoes and he was like, burn them if you can.
Dang, he was serious.
If you can,
I mean,
burn
he gave
them.
you money for the shoes.
Burn them if you can. Okay. Skip on to later on in the day. I'm still wearing these shoes. I'm out. I'm having a good time with my friends and my situationship at the time. And we're just like, we're all into each other. We're all looking in each other's eyes and we're all, and he looks down and he was like, what size shoe do you wear?
Oh, shit.
No.
And I was like,
He said, you cute, but
Oh, shoot.
I was like, listen, are you talking shit about my shoes right now? And he was like, yes, because come on. And I was like, all right, these were hot last year. Like, these are chunky, Fila shoes. They're white.
Yeah.
They were popping last year. What are you talking about? And he was just like, what size shoe do you wear? Because I'm going to get you another pair.
Dang. So you kept the $100.
Twice in one day, I got 2 offers. One was hard cash. The other was like a suggestion. Like, I'm going to probably,
That's your next gift.
Yes.
you need to
Yes.
not with these shoes. And so now they are in a dumpster. I couldn't set it on fire, but it's fine. But I was like, wow, like, damn, I'm just not a shoe head. I'm really not a shoe head. I have like literally, like I said, you're gonna see the same shoes.
Let's do a
Pay
shoe
attention.
cam. Everybody put an ankle up.
These ones are a little busted.
I look like
but
I'm
I
about
will,
to
I
go.
will
These
wear the
are
busted
definitely busted.
It's warm outside.
I
Don't
will
judge
wear-
me. It's warm in Denver.
It is
shoes.
actually.
It is actually.
Your
I can
shoes-
wear this outfit today.
You can.
Okay, but I had a question back to the school when we were talking about being young women in school. At what age, okay, I don't know if this is inappropriate, but
I'll
at
answer
what
it. Let's
age
do it.
did you start wearing thongs?
Ooh.
Thongs?
Yes.
Okay, so I had a best friend. Her name was Sasha.
Sasha.
She literally could not stand. She's like, Gabby, you have such a good butt. Why? I can't deal with the panty lines. I was like, so what the fuck am I supposed to do? We literally
Like,
went
but
to
what is
Victoria's
there?
Secret that day and got me like 5 thongs, and I think I was in 10th grade.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was nice.
So yeah, and ever since my first thong.
It had to be 13 or 14. I would say 14.
Mm.
I do not like thongs. Let me just say that right now. Some thongs are great. A lot
the
are like
seams.
literally just assaulting your vagina lips and your butthole at the same time.
Your
bubble.
piece
it's
of
like
fabric.
and your
actually-
bubble. I was-
No.
What is
And
a
your
bubble?
butthole at the same time, and I am tired. Like, I like it. It's good for me. I'll wear a thong if I have an outfit that I feel like I don't want my panty lines showing. So like if I'm wearing a pencil skirt or a dress or, a lot of times I don't wear underwear, but anyways,
gonna say,
I'm
I
free
can't
balling.
do that.
I go back and forth.
You have not lived life until
not-
you
no.
walk around with no
I
underground.
physically can't do that.
Why? What does that mean?
Yeah,
like
what
it's
does
just
that-
y'all don't have moisture down there.
I mean, yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, I
Yes.
need the thong.
And I think that is a problem.
Like y'all sweat.
Yes.
Like I
Depends on what
naturally,
you
I
do.
think I sweat a lot. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
It
I
could be
just
that
sweat.
too, but also it's just like I would free ball it. I will free ball. I am not wearing any underwear right now as we speak.
I'm wearing
Just
a
so you
thong.
know.
I am also wearing a thong. But
Their
I can-
vaginas are suffocated and their
Mine's
booty
in a
holes
nice little
are
pocket
and
right
I'm in
now. For your
jeans.
information,
What?
it's happy. It's in a
It's
pocket.
happy. Mine is not because I'm wearing jeans. This is why I don't like to wear jeans.
See?
Yeah, when
I'm
you wear
telling
the
you.
high waisted jeans and then they like
And then
take
it's all
the
like
edge of the thong and then
Yeah.
it's like,
on
come
both sides.
on, man.
Yeah.
Just, I honestly, if you know me, no clothes is me.
oh yeah.
I would
Yeah.
rather not wear clothes than wear clothes. I will for your sake because you're watching and you're listening. But otherwise, I would be here naked with my teacup. And
That
I
would
would
be an
just
amazing
literally
show.
just
We're actually
be
doing
talking
naked episode.
shit.
We were all blacked out and we all had
I
like
would love
a black
just-
bar.
I would love that.
We're
Let's
just
do that.
I would
butt
love
naked.
that.
Let's do that. I would do
I would
that.
absolutely like
If we're all down, let's
Say
fucking
less.
do it.
say less.
Because I'm a nudist
me.
at home.
Gotta make sure.
Like
you
I
relax.
get pissed when people come to my house. I'm like, fuck, I gotta find
Do
a
I have to
robe.
put on clothes?
I gotta find a robe.
I bought
but-
a beautiful ass robe yesterday.
Ooh, please tell me
For
about it.
$10
Please
at
tell me
a
about
at a vintage. This girl shop with Laura. Check her out. She
Is it like online?
well she does have a website, but I was just driving through the neighborhood and on her yard in this house that they just moved into, I guess, she had like a couple clothing racks and it had a sign like sale, and so I stopped. I went inside and she had a bunch of cute stuff, but she had this like Japanese style robe with like the koi fish and like the intricate
Ooh.
designs. I was like, I need this.
Yes.
I bought it.
Yes.
And it
I
was
bought
only
it.
$10. I have it. I carry it around
It's
with
mine.
me.
I bought
It's
it.
mine. I was excited. I got a lot of good stuff there. Shout out Lauren. Thank
Wait,
you.
can
She
we-
also gave me a mimosa. She did.
So y'all had an experience.
we had
What
an
happened?
experience. We did.
Wait, so tell
Her
me
house
more
was
about this
super
story.
cute. I walk in. She's like, she was so excited that I was there. And she was like, do you want a mimosa? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Wait, what time is it?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It
No,
was
it doesn't.
Sunday.
I just want to know what kind of bitch
It's
she
5
is.
o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, but I just need to know what kind of bitch
Sundays
she is.
don't count.
Was it after 12?
I have no idea. I have no clue. I don't know.
I just hope it was after 12 because then she's a cool ass bitch. That's what I was trying to get at.
What?
If Sydney,
If it's after 12, she's a cool ass bitch.
Why?
Because before
Why would
12.
she be less cool if it was before?
Right.
12?
Because it's a planned brunch. You're not cool if you go to a planned brunch.
wait, but what if you just drink before 12?
Oh, if you drink before 12, you're cooler than everyone.
No, I think she
Cool.
just was having
I'm just making sure
complimentary
because I
drinks.
thought I was lame for a second. Like,
No,
I
but
just
if you
thought I
only
was
drink,
lame. Come
if you
with me,
only
like,
drink at the
First
designated
the
10 to
tequilas,
12
now the
hours,
drinks.
like what is happening?
am I just busted?
No, I think she genuinely just was like, I want to offer people that come in and shop a mimosa.
Oh, that's
Or
sweet.
I just came at the right time. I don't know. I don't know. I was just there. At the
But
right
y'all
time.
shared the mimosa.
But we shared the mimosa, and she was like, I'm so happy you're here. I didn't realize you're outside because I was outside for a little bit. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm cool. And so she's like making me the mimosa. I'm shopping. She had a lot of really cute stuff. And everything was really reasonably priced. I paid $45 and I got like 6 things. And it was all super cute. And I'm really excited. I actually wore the jeans to dinner last night with Gabby.
Oh, the corduroy pants. Those
It's
are
the
cute.
fact that y'all went to dinner and didn't invite me.
We only-
It was only because
Are we the inner circle? Are we the outer? Am I in the outer circle?
We're the inner
Like,
circle
I'm
plus Kanisha.
actually
Sydney,
just
tell her why we
here.
went to dinner last
No,
night.
we went to dinner
All right, let me hear
because
it.
Sydney
last
messed
weekend,
up.
Gabby's birthday was not this
And
past
you
weekend, the
weren't
week
there for
before.
shit,
And
were you?
I
She
I
wasn't
love
there
how
for
this
shit.
is coming out. She wasn't.
I know.
She wasn't. You showed
Gabby,
up.
she wasn't.
And
She
I knew
wasn't.
when
Gabby's
you were
enjoying
talking
this.
about the plans, I was like, yeah. It was. I already knew. I was like, Sydney
I'm like, I'm gonna be there. Kanisha's like, no.
Sydney had a midlife crisis.
I
Couldn't
just-
make it.
Listen, every month I have a midlife crisis. This month,
Everybody.
Literally, last month was Ayla.
Honestly,
oh
I
my
feel the
god,
same.
it's been a rough couple months. Okay, I had Ayla had a tragedy. Not a tragedy. She's okay.
She
She's
came over to
fine.
my house and was playing with my dog and somehow got a stick shoved into her leg, but she's good now. It was traumatizing.
Yeah,
for
it
both
actually
of
was
us.
really sad. It actually
This
makes
is-
me really sad when I think about it.
This is like what, a month and a half ago?
Oh, so
Yes.
when Mercury was in the
Yeah,
microwave.
yeah,
Okay,
my-
cool.
and- yeah. It was
Oh.
thrown in the microwave, basically.
It was a
I think
freak.
it's still in the microwave. I don't know. Like when you leave it in there and it's still beeping and shit, and like you forgot
That's
your
what we're in
food.
right now.
That's what I feel like is happening.
You forgot
right
it for like 3 days.
now. Yeah, Mercury's still in the microwave.
But she had a midlife crisis.
Yeah, well, anyway, yeah, Ayla, that was a freak accident. That was
That was
insane.
last month.
Yes.
And then this month.
Then I got sick and not COVID. I tested negative, don't worry. But I got sick and that was like I hate being sick. But so that was like a whole mental thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then just other things happening this past weekend.
So then she couldn't make it. And then
Oh yeah, so I couldn't make it. So I couldn't make it to Gabby's birthday weekend extravaganza. And so
It was an
Oh,
amazing thing. We'll talk about it.
I offered to take her to dinner, and so we went to dinner last night. We went to North Italia in Cherry Creek. Never been there before.
Wow.
She
It was really
picked me
good.
up. She wined and dined me and then dropped me off home at my nigga's
Yes.
house.
What?
I swear,
Yes.
I've
That is
never eaten.
manners.
I've never
Right? I
eaten in
was
Cherry
like,
Creek.
That is
It's the
chivalry.
most
Well, but I
thoughtful
also
thing
told
that
her
anybody's
too.
ever done for me.
It was a gift for me too, because I've never eaten in Cherry Creek. First of all,
What?
oh no, that's a lie. I did one year, but I had like tacos. No,
I'm
actually,
firing
it was
all your
sushi.
boyfriends.
Yeah, like
Every boyfriend you've ever had, I'm firing them, including the one you have.
Sorry,
You're fired. Take her to Cherry Creek.
you're fired.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I've never been to Cherry. Well, I've been to Cherry Creek, but I
Right.
had never really eaten there. And so Gabby wanted Italian, and we went there. It was really cute. It was
so
like
cute.
a cute little 2-seater table with the wine glasses, and we had a great time.
Had a
Oh,
fake
wow.
flower. We had
It was real, I
calamari.
thought.
They had this fire ass bread that had like
You know we like
it was
bread.
like truffle. It was garlic bread with like truffle oil and like Parmesan cheese and like just extra love. It was so
Extra
good.
love?
It
Yes,
was
because
so good.
actually I think I knew one of the cooks there.
Yeah, he put the extra love in there.
He was like, "Ooh, Sydney's
she gave him a
here.
ride one
Actually, I
time.
knew one of the cooks. So.
Sprinkled out with some love."
Put some spice in that.
Anywho.
Oh yeah, so I took her to dinner. Why did we talk about that?
Because of my birthday. Okay, so November 12th was my birthday. I had my friend Aria fly in from Atlanta, and she got to meet Keish. She didn't get to meet her,
Didn't
but
get to
she
meet
was
her.
she was a doozy. But most of my birthday was just like showing her around Denver, and we went to Boulder for a day and like shopped around. My boyfriend came with us, so that was sweet. He was working for most of the weekend, so like it was just cute that he got to do that with us. And then a lot of the stuff that we wanted to do, we didn't end up doing. Like I wanted to do a Smash Room, but I didn't feel like doing it that day. I want to do Meow Wolf. Too many fucking people. I did make it to Fogo de Chao, and both of y'all bitches missed out, but we ate good.
Gabby literally
good.
sent a fucking novel as an itinerary. Okay, so
she did.
If you want to read a novel to be invited to a birthday,
yes, actually,
this is your friend.
In my defense,
she is going to be the one
for your birthday. I did show up for two things. For the Smash. No, I didn't show up, but the Smash Room. I was ready. I was ready to go. I remember I called you multiple times. I texted you what's the address, and she didn't get back to me until
she drank that day
after. Yeah, y'all went to brunch. I didn't get to go to brunch.
Brunch ended late.
You know what's crazy?
That's what happened. Brunch ended late.
The only reason I didn't go to brunch was because I was like, no, I'm gonna go to the Smash Room. So had I known,
had you went to the mimosas, you would have made it to the Smash Room.
That's neither here nor there. Anyway, the other
y'all see how they try to blame me for this?
I actually don't believe what she just said.
Why not?
No way you were gonna make it to the Smash Room.
No, I was.
I feel like if we had
message.
people there, if Sydney was there, we would have made it to the Smash Room. Because
Oh,
Sydney would have came with us to Ross, but we got out of mimosas hella late.
Definitely would have been at Ross.
Oh boy, I'll give you that.
Okay, and then I was gonna go to Hamburger Mary's, and I was actually there parked, and I ended up not going, but she ended up canceling it.
I had the worst night that night. I could not go to sleep. Like I had an insomnia attack. I could not. Like I was up at 3 a.m. wide ass awake, crying because I could not go back to sleep.
Oh, does that happen often?
It gets. Yeah, it gets. Yeah, I cry when because I can't. Like I don't know. It's just like I physically
being
can't get tired. No, it's not like being constipated.
I cry when I'm constipated.
Nobody's ever asked
what is happening?
Y'all.
Like, you know, like when you're constipated is. I only use that example because it's a very straightforward example.
I
like,
cry when I have a stomach ache, but not when I'm
like that. Okay, like that. You know,
you're
like
crying.
What is happening? You feel stuck.
No, I
You're
did.
Like,
I cried because I'm an emotional ass water sign, but I was crying because I could not go back to sleep. And I know by now, like if it's after a certain hour, I'm just gonna be tired all during that day, and I can't go back to sleep. So like I stayed up from 3 till like 9 a.m. I smoke so much weed.
I was gonna say, don't you normally smoke to kind of help that?
So my boyfriend's gonna try to get me CBN, and that's supposed to like help me get sleepy and tired. But like I've always been that way. Like I wake up at 7, I'm up. Like once I'm up, and I'm just up until I literally crash. I crash. I pass out. And then if you wake me up, it's like poking a bear. Like people are fucking. Yeah. Like my mom is shook. My mom is shook. She's like, don't wake Gabby up. She's mean. That's not Gabby right now.
Welcome to the group chat at the Inner Circle, where we talk to you about your questions, things you need advice on, whatever you want to talk about, anything you send to us. Group chat. It's the group chat. It's the group chat right now. We're the group chat. We're spilling tea. We're talking about tea. We're giving the tea. We're laying it all out. We're doing it.
Okay, so I got a few questions. I'm just gonna skim through these. So
people only responded to Gabby
apparently because Sydney and I are not as popular than Gabby.
I just do this for a living. So.
Gabby is the leader of the group.
I'm the
group chat. Gabby has the inner circle. Gabby is the inner circle in the group chat.
Gabby is the inner circle plus Sydney and Kanisha.
Plus us, because no one cares to get to know us. Anyways.
Y'all got more pull than me. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's what's crazy. I'm not.
No,
I don't understand.
They're just scared.
I think they are scared.
You don't have to.
I don't want to bite y'all. Okay, so somebody asked me, what are some good ways to talk about boundaries in a friendship, and what is a good way to honor the fluidity of said boundaries?
Ooh, that's so hard. I'm not gonna start with that.
So a way to set boundaries in a friendship. It's hard because I feel like typically the boundaries have to be crossed first. in order for it to be actually settled. I feel like, you know, when you're friends with someone, you're getting to know them. And over time, we're all ever changing people. So, you know, you're always going to be getting to know a new version of the person that you're friends with. So it's just important to know, like, embrace who that person is, but always keep your boundaries and communicating them in an effective way that's not detrimental to their psyche or harmful is always best. Because I think that as humans, we have boundaries and we want to just hard set them, right? But if we're dealing with people that we love and we care about, we can set those boundaries without being so like hard cut.
Right.
You know, we could be like, hey, I don't really like this.
Because even though you're setting boundaries, you're still dealing with other people's boundaries.
Exactly. Because they have boundaries too. Right? So we all have boundaries. And if the friendship is real, you'll be able to maybe cross those boundaries without knowing, and that person be able to say, hey, this is a boundary you just crossed. I love you. I care about you. I still want to be friends with you. Let's not cross those boundaries. Like, let's not cross that.
Friendships are very similar to romantic relationships. Like very similar. I think honestly,
they're the same.
They're the same. Like the only difference, right, is like that you might not be like physically intimate with those friends, and some people are actually physically intimate with their friends too. So, hey, I like never actually thought about that, but I was on Horrible Decisions. They were talking about Mandy is physically intimate with her friends, and I'm like, what? That is so interesting.
Love it.
It's probably amazing.
I feel safe
about it. I was gonna say I
have friends like that.
Because you know
and
each
that's
other.
What it is.
You know what I mean? There isn't pressure about do you like me or not.
You feel
safe. You just feel safe.
It's a safe space.
But yeah, so I feel like the approach to boundaries and friendships should be similar. I think obviously you come first. You need to be aware of your boundaries and where you draw that line. And I think Kanisha's right. Like sometimes you don't know the boundary until it's crossed. And I think there's also nothing like it's the way that you go about it. Like you don't have to be like, screw you, you betrayed me. Like, you know, it could just be like,
sounds like me.
Right? Well, we all have moments like that, right? And that makes sense too when someone does cross a boundary, especially if it is like one that you are firm on and they didn't know. It can feel very personal and it can feel very triggering. Yeah. So I think it's important to have as much self-awareness as you possibly can. And a part of self-awareness is boundaries. And they say the most important boundaries you set are with yourself. So if you know yourself and you know how you feel about things, then yes, assert those. But also, again, be aware that as humans, we forget things. 9 times out of 10, when someone does something against you, it's usually not personal. It's usually unintentional. So definitely speak up about your boundaries. But depending on your friendship, do it and the situation, do it in a way is like, I still love you. I want to be let's be friends still. Right. We can be friends if, can we just not do that thing again?
Right.
I feel like you guys said everything that was to be said on that. Like, I agree with everything you said.
But I also, too, sorry, I just wanted to add this.
Keep going.
I think it is hard, too, because friendships, someone was saying, like, a friendship breakup, sometimes they're even harder than, like, romantic breakups because when you become friends with somebody, especially when you become very close friends with somebody, I don't think we ever really think about, like, oh, this could end. Whereas in a romantic relationship, usually like you're kind of like, all right, this ends in 2 ways. Either we love each other forever and we are happily ever after, or we go separate ways. Whereas in friendships, I think we don't really expect that. So sometimes it can hurt a lot. And so I think the boundaries conversation is so important for that reason, because it is like, if we can keep, be as clear and honest and open as possible, then we can alleviate that stress. We can alleviate the blurred lines and, I think sometimes the conversation feels a little stickier and harder than it actually needs to be.
Yeah.
It's very important to do that, to have a conversation.
I agree.
I do want to say something. So she asked, what are some good ways to talk about boundaries? I feel like, and I've only learned this from being in my current partnership, some people want a date and a time of when we're going to talk. You can't just bring it up whenever you're feeling something. So making sure it's spaced out enough where it's not too heated.
Right.
And everybody's like willing to come to the table at that point. Because like if you're just shouting out, "Hey, this is my boundary," you burn that, you might not be being received by your friend.
Right.
Like as sad as that is, like, and friendships end that way because it's like, you're not listening to me. It's like, I don't want to hear you right now.
Yeah.
Like
or
that actually
communication
happens.
too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, really. Friendships, like we need to talk about friendships more honestly, because we love to talk about toxic relationships, right? Like romantic ones, but like we got some toxic friendships too, and they can have a huge effect on you and your well-being. More than I think we probably realize. So
speaking about toxic relationships, I got a question today. Hold on, let me find it. Anonymous said, I feel like it's been hard to start a truly healthy, honest relationship. Seems like people prefer toxicity right now over pure communication and values, etc.
Can I say
Do y'all
something?
agree or disagree first before we? I
disagree.
I agree and disagree at the same time.
I am definitely in the middle.
I'm in the middle.
I agree, but I also disagree. You know?
I feel like there's a portion of people that follow Justin LA Boy and Toxic Kings.
Oh, it's so hard.
And they are just in it to win it. Like they're just like, yes, this is the energy we love. This is the energy we carry. They're finally gonna meet us halfway if we just keep doing this.
Right.
And then there's the energy of people that are just like, chivalry is still a thing. We don't have to be monogamous, but we appreciate and respect the loving nature of a relationship and what it brings, so we want to like cater to that. So I feel like I'm in the middle because I have seen people that just love that, like they don't want to change their ways, like they're just like, this is how I am, it's me or the door, and it's like, okay, the door, bye.
Real quick, I do want to just address like the way that question was worded too, because to me, I'm hearing a little bit of not a contradiction, but you know, on the one hand they're saying I want to find a healthy relationship. But then on the other hand, they're saying it seems like people are only concerned with being toxic and things like that. And so I think if you have that mindset, because Gabby's right, there are, believe it or not, there are people in the world who do want to have a loving and nurturing relationship, men, women, non-binary, like however you identify, like there are people all around the world that actually do want to cultivate healthy relationships. But if you're having the mindset, because there's also people who don't. So if you have the mindset that everybody is that way, well, then one of two things I think is happening. Either the people around you really are that way and you need to get away from those people and you need to find.
That's the people you're drawing
and find a different, whatever it is, a different friend
type,
group, a different
type.
place that you go
That's
to.
What it is. It's a different type.
Yes.
It's not a friend group. It's a different type.
Well, that too. But like, you know, if you're going to, I had a conversation with a friend about this months ago, where he was like, every time I go, it's drama. And I was like, yeah, but you keep going there and you keep going with the same people and the same people go to the same places. So you can't be surprised after the third, fourth, fifth time that you're getting the same result. So like I said, one of two things is happening. Either the people really are toxic. And if that's the case, you need to get out of there. You need to find a new whatever, or you have maybe some toxic things within you that are attracting
toxic aura.
That are attracting those things, or it could be both, because that
can I actually add
something? It is both, but
so I've had an aura of being emotionally unstable, and I did not recognize it. I only knew that the people that I was like wanting were emotionally unavailable. But it wasn't until I got into a partnership and I was like, damn, I really am emotionally unavailable. And it's like that, whatever you are, or whatever you are, like what's being drawn to you, you might actually be that.
Hey, we attract our realities. I don't care what anybody 100%. Says. I don't care if people want to say that's woo-woo, crazy spiritual. Like, we literally do. There's 100%. Actually like tests being done that show that. And, you know, they also say that you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time around. You know, so if your friends are also dating toxic people with unhealthy boundaries and things like that, and then you guys are getting together and you're bouncing off that energy and talking about that, this person, that, and the other, you know, that is going to keep coming back. So
Yeah.
I would say like first place to look, your environment. That's the best place to start.
Keish?
So when it comes to this toxic culture, this toxic relationship culture, I really think that, to be honest with you, I don't think that there is a toxic relationship culture. I think it's actually very made up. It's always been there. We are just now in a generation, like we were talking before, age of information. Everything's at your fingertips. Everything's in your face now. So there was toxic tendencies and toxic things that were accepted before that only your neighbors talked about, or the people in your town talked about, or, you know, the people in your school talked about it. And now it's the entire world, right? Now we're all talking about it. We're all talking about this. So I personally find Justin LeBoy's page funny as fuck.
And
Oh, that's what his name is?
Justin,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I've heard it both
LeBoy.
ways.
I thought
I
it
say
was
LeBoy.
Justin, LA
Justin
boy.
LeBoy.
I think it's LeBoy
I think it
because
is
I
LeBoy.
think he was going off of French, which I don't even want to get into that. But however, I find it very entertaining because it's relatable,
Yes.
right? But do I believe in it? No. However, I'm posting it, right? So this person, whoever put that in your advice box, they probably are used to seeing things online, seeing people sharing this stuff, seeing people finding humor in this, and they're taking it as, oh, all these people are just so toxic now. Everyone is so entertained by the toxic relationship culture. And I think that it's more so we're entertained by social media and the things that are on social media. I do not think that the toxic relationship culture is new. It's not a new thing. It's just in your face now, right?
That's a good point.
Your dad was cheating on your mom with the girl at the bar, but only the people in the town were talking about it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Now we're like, my dad's on Tinder. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we're in a different,
Yeah.
we're in a completely different world now.
Yeah.
And people like us that were raised in the middle of this, right? The middle of the age of information, and also like the
Pre-internet,
time where
pre-social.
they were still discovering technology, computers. They were still building, your computer was like this block, you know, like that's a totally different generation than some of these people who have never known a world without connecting, like without social media or
Right.
without TV
Or
or
being
without,
connected
and not
completely
even
at
without
all
TV,
times.
but like without that being the center of things, because social media is the
Mm.
center now. It's the center of things.
Sorry.
Whereas before it wasn't like that. So now things are just a little different. It's a little more in your face. There are definitely still, for your friend, woman, is it a girl?
We're going to make it anonymous.
It's anonymous. They, them. That person.
That person.
There is still people out there who believe in chivalry, who are traditional, who still hold those old values that we seem to cling on to as a society. It's still there. It still exists. You're just ignoring them for the guy that's like, hey, you want to listen to my mixtape? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you're not attracting the right people. If you put that out there, like Cindy was saying, you attract what you put out. If you want that, if you want traditional, if you want something that isn't toxic or something that isn't detrimental to you, work on yourself, attract that.
On the flip, if we were giving advice for a man, if he felt like life was like the people that he was drawing around him was toxic.
Same thing. Yeah, because it's really a personal thing. It is. And once you realize that, then you start to really attract what you're looking for. And even if you happen to attract what you're not looking for, you can still see it and be like, not what I'm looking for.
It's a lesson.
You know?
Right.
Instead of entertaining that, because not everyone is toxic. We laugh at it, yes, but we don't all want to date
Have that
Justin
yeah.
LeBoys.
Yeah,
We
no,
don't all want to
don't.
date guys that may be fuck boys. I'm sorry, that's the only word I can think of it, you know,
Most
or
of us
fuck
don't.
girls or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
We're not all trying to be there. There are people who still believe in that genuine type of love that is not bound to toxicity in our culture.
I feel like my advice is always not always the same, but I usually go the same place where it's like work on yourself. I feel like that's like the best advice for like any situation.
Just be your best self,
Just be your
and
best
you'll be the
self.
best self for the next person that comes in your
Yes.
life, and they'll appreciate you for the new stuff that you worked on for yourself.
Yes, I saw this thing yesterday that it was Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's got a lot of great research, but why I was specifically listening to him yesterday was he said that a lot of people, because he talks about manifesting, right? And he talks about like healing your body. And he said people kept asking him, like, how do you manifest the perfect relationship or the perfect guy for me or perfect woman for me? And he's like, one day I just got so fed up that I finally said, would you date you?
No, literally,
Would
you have
date
to date yourself.
Yeah. And he said too, he was like, the best way to do this is he's like, sure, write your list of like, I want someone who's like this, like that, and the other, and get it specific. And he was like, and then become it. Like work on yourself till you become it, because like attracts like, right? So then when you exude that energy of what you think is like ideal for you, then you will attract the complementary energy as well. And then you know what I mean? And the cool thing about that too is I think like, yeah, the work sometimes on yourself can be really messy, really uncomfortable and not linear at all. But like it's always worth it, because literally nothing the only thing that comes out of that is good things, only good things, because at that point, you know yourself, you know your boundaries, you know what to ask for, you know what you're not going to put up with, and there is no question. There doesn't have to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Facts.
And you'll know like exactly what kind of date you want, what kind of things you want to do with your person, all that stuff. Because like if you're not experiencing the things that you want to experience with that person, what makes you think that they'll see that in you if you're not already doing it?
Right.
Yes. Like if you're not doing them for yourself or doing them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like another thing for like love languages too. If you're not already doing it for yourself, your partner's not gonna recognize that.
Facts.
I think we are out of time, but you guys will catch us next time on the next episode of Inner Circle. Thanks for coming today.